Have you ever tried to look up a court record online only to hit a massive paywall from some sketchy third-party data broker asking for your credit card? Yeah, it's incredibly frustrating, especially since these are supposed to be public records. Well, welcome to This Explainer. I'm so glad you're here today because we are bypassing the paywalls, skipping the scams, and getting right down to business. I'm going to give you a foolproof, step-by-step guide to finding Comanche County court records online, and we're going to do it entirely for free. Whether you're running a background check, researching a property lien, or looking up a civil case, you are in the exact right place. Let's dive in. Okay, right off the bat, if you just go and type Comanche County court records into a search engine, you are probably going to fall into a huge geographical trap. See, there isn't just one Comanche County in the United States. There are actually three. We're talking Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas. If you don't know exactly which state you need, you could easily end up thinking someone has a spotless record, when in reality, you're just looking in the completely wrong state. So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, the three Comanche counties. Second, Oklahoma's OSCN and ODCR systems. Third, Texas and its county versus district setup. Fourth, Kansas's centralized access rules. And then we'll wrap up with some crucial pro tips, a quick summary, and a legal disclaimer. Section 1. The three Comanche counties. Understanding the landscape here is absolutely crucial before you even think about typing a name into a search bar. It really comes down to population size, because that directly dictates the technology each county uses. Comanche County, Oklahoma is huge, over 120,000 residents, so they rely on a really robust state-level network. Then you have Texas right in the middle. With about 13,000 residents, they use a dual system approach. And Kansas? Well, it's a small, rural jurisdiction with under 2,000 people, which means it leans entirely on a centralized state portal. Knowing your target state literally dictates your entire search strategy. Section 2. Oklahoma, OSCN, and ODCR. Let's start with our largest jurisdiction, Comanche County, Oklahoma. Records here are managed by Court Clerk Robert Morales out of the Lawton Courthouse. Getting started here is super simple because it's fully integrated into the state-funded Oklahoma State Courts Network, or OSCN. You literally just go to oscn.net. That's it. No account needed, no email address required, and absolutely no credit card. Just use their search tool to look up a party name or a case number, and you can view the entire docket sheet, which is basically a summary of all the hearings and filings, 100% for free. But here's where it gets kind of confusing. Oklahoma actually runs two parallel systems. You've got OSCN, and then you have ODCR, which stands for On-Demand Court Records. Think of OSCN as your primary free starting point. ODCR is a secondary system. You can search it for free, sure, but it's really meant for making online court payments or for specialized paid document access. And here is the big takeaway. Avoid unnecessary costs. If you try to view scanned images of actual court documents through ODCR, you're going to hit a massive paywall. They charge $55 a month just for image access. That feature is really built for attorneys and state bar members who need to download case filings every single day. For the average focused learner just trying to check a record, stick to the free docket summaries on oscn.net. Section 3. Texas, County versus District. Now, if you're searching in Comanche, Texas, you've got to understand their dual clerk administrative structure. You are not just searching one single courthouse database here. The county clerk, Ruby Leslie, handles misdemeanors, probate, and land records using a system called eDocTech. Meanwhile, the district clerk, Brandy Jones, takes care of the heavier stuff, like felonies and major civil cases. Because of a landmark 2022 Commissioner's Court decision, the district clerk actually uses the Tyler Odyssey software system, which was rolled out statewide to smaller counties. So for Texas, you really need to know what kind of case you're looking for to know which clerk's database to search. Just to give you an idea of what you can actually pull from the Texas system, here's a real-world example. These are the actual 2022 Commissioner's Court meeting minutes, where they discussed adopting that Tyler Odyssey software. It's pretty fascinating to see the administrative history right there in black and white. When you know where to look, this is the exact level of detail you can access. So how do you actually search those county clerk records? For property documents, liens, or probate records, you'll go to edoctechinc.com/Comanche Public Records. Now, unlike Oklahoma, Texas is going to ask you to register for a public user account before you can see the deeper metadata. The good news? It's completely free to register and search. Oh, and a quick pro tip. If you just want to see when a criminal or civil hearing is scheduled, the county clerk actually uploads PDF copies of upcoming dockets straight to the main county website, and that requires no account at all. I do have to give you a quick warning about Texas, though. While search in that eDoc database is free, if you actually want an official or certified copy of a document, it's going to cost you $1 per page. Plus, they tack on a somewhat sneaky $5 certification fee per document. So if you need physical proof of a record, just be prepared to pay that statutory fee either online or by mailing a cashier's check to the courthouse. Section 4, Kansas, Centralized Access Rules. All right, let's head over to our smallest jurisdiction, Comanche County, Kansas. The system here is overseen by District Court Clerk Jenny Bruckner out of the Coldwater Courthouse. Because the county has fewer than 2,000 residents, they just don't have the budget for a standalone custom portal. Instead, they use the Kansas District Court Public Access Portal. You absolutely have to register for an account to use this one. Once you're in, you can search for case metadata, like filing dates, party names, and case summaries. Just keep in mind, since it's a centralized, state-run portal, not every single historical document has been digitized. Section 5, Pro Tips and Troubleshooting. Okay, so now that we've got the maps to navigate all 3 counties, let's go over a quick insider survival guide for troubleshooting. Navigating government databases can be a bit clunky, right? First off, always verify your state first. A common name like John Smith is going to give you wildly different results in Oklahoma compared to Kansas. Second, and this is a massive one, Kansas Supreme Court Rule 22 strictly prohibits online access to family law and domestic cases. You cannot get those on the internet. For things like child support records, you literally have to physically visit the public terminal at the courthouse in Coldwater. And lastly, for your own security, always make sure you're using official .gov or state-endorsed portals like OSCN or eDocTech. If a site demands a credit card just to do a basic name search, run the other way. Section 6, Summary and Legal Disclaimer. Let's bring all these threads together to empower your search. Here's a quick recap of our journey today. If you're looking in Oklahoma, OSCN.net is your best friend for completely free no-account docket searches. For Texas, remember that dual clerk split, Odyssey for district, eDocTech for county. In Kansas, you're using the centralized state portal, but just expect those domestic records to be completely hidden. Honestly, finding these records is highly achievable. You just need a little patience and you need to know exactly which geography you're dealing with. And before we wrap up today, I do need to read a quick legal disclaimer. The information provided in this explainer is intended solely to help you navigate and access public records, but it does not constitute legal advice. If you have specific legal needs, questions about a case, or need help interpreting a document, please consult a qualified legal professional. All right, you now have the exact blueprint to bypass those pesky data brokers and navigate the complexities of all 3 Comanche counties. The tools are completely free and they are waiting right at your fingertips. So now that you have the compass to navigate the public record maze, whose history will you uncover first? Thanks for joining me on this explainer and happy researching.